From the haunted temples of Japan to the misty hills of Ireland, from the hungry ghosts of China to the restless shades of ancient Greece, every culture tells stories of the dead who do not rest. But here's the secret: not all ghosts are the same. Across the world, spirits take on unique forms, shaped by the fears, beliefs, and hopes of the living. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a journey through time and across continents to uncover the different classes of ghosts in world folklore. Some are vengeful, some are protective, some are doomed to wander forever. Stay with me until the end, because one of these ghosts may be part of your own heritage, and you may not even know it. Part 1. Japan. Yurei and the Curse of the Dead. Japan has one of the richest traditions of ghost lore. Their spirits are known as yurei, literally faint souls. In Japanese belief, when a person dies, if their death is sudden, violent, or their funeral rites are not performed correctly, their soul may not pass on. Instead, it lingers. Among the yurei, one class is feared above all: the onryo, vengeful spirits. These are usually women who suffered betrayal, abuse, or murder. In life they were powerless, but in death they return with unstoppable rage. Their long white funeral robes and black tangled hair have become iconic. Think of horror films like The Ring or The Grudge. But not all Japanese ghosts are vengeful. There are also the ubume, mother ghosts, who die in childbirth but return to care for their children, and the goryo, spirits of wronged aristocrats who could curse entire cities if not appeased. Japanese folklore teaches us something chilling: the dead are not silent. If neglected, disrespected, or wronged, they will rise. Part 2. China. The hungry ghosts. In Chinese folklore, the dead are never far away. Ancestors are honored, respected, and even fed through offerings. But what happens when the dead are forgotten? They become hungry ghosts. According to Taoist and Buddhist tradition, hungry ghosts are souls cursed with insatiable desire. They wander the earth with swollen bellies and thin necks, unable to ever satisfy their hunger. Their craving may be for food, or for emotions like greed, envy, or lust. Every year during the Ghost Festival, also called the Hungry Ghost Festival, families leave food, incense, and paper offerings outside their homes. The belief is simple: feed the spirits, honor them, and they will not harm you. But hungry ghosts are not always strangers. Sometimes they are your ancestors, returning to remind you not to forget them. This tradition shows a truth shared across Asia: memory is survival. To be remembered is peace. To be forgotten is torment. Part 3. Western Europe. White ladies and restless wanderers. In Western Europe, ghost stories often take the form of wandering souls, and none is more famous than the White Lady. The White Lady appears in dozens of countries: Ireland, Germany, Portugal, the Netherlands. Always dressed in white, she is usually the spirit of a woman who died tragically, betrayed by a lover, murdered, or doomed by unrequited love. These spirits are often bound to a location: a castle corridor, a forest path, or a lonely bridge. People who encounter them describe sorrowful faces, silent gestures, or sudden vanishings. But European folklore also brings us darker figures, like the Headless Horseman. In German legend, he is a harbinger of death, a rider who carries his own severed head. Later, this figure would ride into American folklore as well. European ghosts remind us of guilt and tragedy. They are tied to sins of the past, forever wandering where their stories ended. Part 4. Ireland. The Banshee's Cry. In Irish folklore, the most feared spirit is not seen, but heard: the Banshee, or Beansea, woman of the fairy mound. She is not a ghost of the ordinary dead, but a supernatural being tied to death itself. The Banshee appears as a weeping woman, sometimes beautiful, sometimes terrifying, combing her long hair and crying in the night. Her cry is a warning. To hear the Banshee's wail means that death is near, usually for someone in your family. Irish families once believed that noble lineages had their own Banshee, a spirit attached to them through generations. She was not an enemy, but neither was she a friend. She was a messenger, The banshee reminds us that folklore is not only about the past. Sometimes it's about the future and the inevitability of death itself. Part 5. Ancient Greece. Shades of the Underworld. The ancient Greeks had a very clear vision of the afterlife. When you died, your soul, your psyche, traveled to the underworld, ruled by Hades. There, the dead became shades, pale, ghostly echoes of their living selves. But not all souls found peace. Some became restless. One class was the adaphoi, the unburied dead. Without proper funeral rites, these ghosts could not enter the underworld. Instead, they wandered the earth seeking closure. Another class was the auroi, those who died before their time, especially children and young warriors. Their souls were believed to be dangerous, full of unfulfilled energy. And then there were the Nikia, spirits summoned through rituals. Heroes like Odysseus traveled to the realm of the dead and called upon these shades for knowledge. For the Greeks, ghosts were not random. They reflected the importance of ritual, duty, and remembrance. Forget the dead, and they would not forget you. The vengeful Yurei of Japan, the starving, hungry ghosts of China, the wandering white ladies of Europe, the banshee's cry in Ireland, the restless shades of ancient Greece. Across the world, ghosts take many forms. Some terrify, some protect, and some simply remind us of our deepest truths, that love, guilt, memory, and fear do not end with death. What unites them all is this: every culture believes the dead are still with us, watching, waiting, whispering through the cracks of the living world. So the question is not whether ghosts exist, but which ones your culture has taught you to fear or to honor. If you enjoyed this journey into global folklore, hit that like button, subscribe for more haunted history, and remember, somewhere out there, a spirit may already be calling your name.